Hello and welcome to the Strange Scaffold Cool Things Club. I am the head of creative marketing here at Strange Scaffold, Chris Slight, and boy am I glad to have a space like the Cool Things Club to slide into at the moment. I'm not, you know, I have to tell you. We are joined this month by Kirk, who is the composer on Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator, a game that has just had its first 4 weeks of new content delivered to it since its launch. We'll talk about it in the show, but the reception has been amazing, and we've nearly doubled the amount of stuff in the game, which is wild. Like, watching the team do this is crazy. Like, it's obviously scoped out and planned that we would add all this content. That's how these things are done. But it's still crazy to see every week. Like, we've had new campaigns. We've got 2 new modes. We've got, there's daily challenges in it is one of the new modes. Like, yeah, it's wild. But yeah, it's been crazy. And it's been wonderful to see the reception to the game. And I greatly appreciate all of you who have said nice things about the game. Thank you. Right now, though, let's get into the Cool Things Club, because we've got some cool things with some cool people. See you on the other side.
What if we had the Tiny Mouse voice version of the podcast? Or for
Mouse?
one episode, we just talk like this.
What if it's always like this for a whole episode?
My microphone's a little off screen, but I'm right here too.
Welcome to the Cool Things Club, everybody.
This is how it's going to start now, just so you know. This is making it in.
So
100%.
we're recording?
Oh, yeah.
This is happening right now?
We should use our big
that's a
people
mistake.
voices now.
Refuse.
They can't know that we're mice.
We're just in a trench coat.
I have
we
to
just
jump.
have like 6 mics pointed at our trench coat.
That's why we're Strange Scaffold. Xalavier is actually all of us, but we're all mice, like, holding it up.
Yeah.
It's so
just a
that's an
button.
interesting thing. People talk about auteur theory. I'm not the only person who makes the games, but we do all inhabit my body ostensibly.
Yeah.
So
As mice.
Yeah.
This is our
Horrifying.
mice reveal.
okay.
Yeah. Welcome to the Strange Scaffold.
mice reveal, y'all.
Yeah, you didn't know there was going to be a mice reveal on this episode.
Squeak.
Space Warlord Baby Trading was made by and for mice. That is just a fact, because we are ourselves mice, and that's what we've done. But welcome to the show. Xalavier, Candace, how you both doing?
I'm pretty good.
Doing good. Oh, you're still in the voice. No.
Oh,
They're stuck.
I know we've revealed our truth, but we do have to.
Fine. If you insist.
We're joined this episode by, speaking of Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator, and speaking of the very theme to this podcast that you have heard just before it came in with some cool mice chat. Chris, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself and let people know
Chris.
what it is you do.
Yeah.
Double
Hey,
Chris.
folks. I'm another Chris. There are so many of us. We are many.
There are.
With a K though, Chris with a K. But yeah, no, I'm
cool
Chris
one.
Kirk. I had the great privilege to be the composer and sound designer for Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator, a sentence I still don't believe, and all
Killed
things
it,
like
by
that.
the way.
Oh, thank you. And yes, as you mentioned too, did the theme for the little podcast here too, which is, I think the first thing I did was Strange Scaffold actually, which was stressful.
I think
Was it?
Like,
'Cause
no, well, I was just like, Xalavier's a
just to
cool
get it
person,
right.
and yeah, exactly. And I was like,
I was going to say, I remember the process of you did something and it was like, maybe change this one tiny bit, and you went,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and that was it, and we were like, this rules. So like, I was like, I hope it wasn't stressful, and my memory of it's completely wrong.
no, not even. It was just like a thing
Right.
and a small change. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, ooh. Which is, obviously why I listen to the show. I listen for the intro and then I leave, but
The 20 seconds. Yeah. You skip through my introduction like that.
Where's
Right.
the music? Where's me? Where's me?
yeah.
That's the way
Chris
it
has been
lives.
in every episode.
Yeah. I was going to say the soundtrack for Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator, I'll mention this in the intro and the outro and probably again at the end, but it just went up for pre-order yesterday at the time of recording. It should be out, I think, because this will be coming out at the end of the month. So
Yeah.
I believe it will be out because it's coming out like really soon. Like
it's out now on
that's what I was
my
gonna say in my
Bandcamp.
head. I was like, I feel like it literally comes out tomorrow, but that's just from the post that I was doing yesterday. That's how time happens. Like, when you say tomorrow,
everyone go back into the past. It's Bandcamp Friday right now. Go buy it right now.
Yes.
Go buy it right now.
Yes.
If it's
Long
a
story
Friday
short, get that soundtrack. It's really good.
It really is, dude. It was one thing that like immediately a number of people were like, "Oh, when can I get the soundtrack? When can I do something? When can I get my hands on it?" And I was like,
I hear it in like every review. It's great. The people being like, "Where's the soundtrack though?"
Yeah, very very proud of just everything that the whole team, that everyone worked on. Seeing the art too, it was really cool. Also being like one of the first people to like, at least like outside of the studio at the time, of like hearing the concept of what it was, and I was like, this is so cool. I love poking fun at capitalism. This is great. Yeah.
It's a theme. We enjoy that.
I think the first game pokes fun at capitalism. I think by this time we are literally chewing through the drywall, breathing fire.
It felt like we were trying to keep ahead of reality becoming what we were parodying before we could even release the game. The madness of gambling and Wall Street was just like, what's happening? I want to retweet this, but this is horrible. Like, I want to repost it. Like, look, what's happening?
Look at sports betting, right? We didn't have really a sports betting culture back when the first game came out, and that was only a few years ago. So now Dave & Buster's, which also either is incorporating or has incorporated its sports betting component, so you can bet on the results of the Dave & Buster's games you play.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Get me out.
I feel like America's always going one way or the other. Because I remember when I was younger, you could go
one way.
I guess really it's always going up. So for my point on this, when I remember when I was younger, like in every town, in every English like town anywhere, there is a betting shop. There's a gambling shop. And in England, you could sort of place bets on anything. Like if the bookie will take the bet, you could place a bet on anything. So like you could walk in and be like, I reckon that this person's going to win this television reality show, and they go, I'll give you these odds, all right, and they do it. But gambling was my granddad every Sunday would spend most of the day in the betting shop. Betting on horse racing. He never bet loads. He never went crazy with it. So he just enjoyed the social aspect of it. He wasn't a drinker. So I think that was his thing. Also, for any fans of Chris's family, my nan, it turns out, was a horrible woman, we all discovered much later. So I was like, oh, maybe that's why he would spend an entire day in a gambling shop. Not really being that crazy with gambling. Yeah. Oh, she was the worst. So's my uncle. Turns out we didn't know, but we were shielded as children, and then as adults we found out horrible. But
the same experience I had with. Oh, sorry, I was going to say, that's being shielded as a child and then realizing how horrible it is later is also my experience of capitalism.
Yeah. With the gambling, it felt like I remember thinking like, God, you can only place bets in like Las Vegas and a few other places. And also, but everywhere else, it's like illegal to do gambling. This is crazy. And then it feels like gambling came out in America and it just... in what I normally think of America being, it's like Europe, but we gave everyone loads of caffeine, put them in a tube and shook them loads and then let them out into the world and just saw what happened. Like it felt like it was that. It was like, oh no, you've gone insane with this. What have you done? This isn't fun. Like this isn't just putting a $5 on a horse race for a bit of a laugh. It's like, let's make this the most destructive thing. Like, it's not good over here, don't get me wrong. Gambling addiction's very real, it's bad. But, like, it does feel like America really went, let's go crazy with gambling and make it horrible.
It's very funny because I've heard actually on a handful of different podcasts of people talking about the game at this point, of people being like, I don't know if the devs knew about how this would be when they started making this game. Yeah. And to which I kind of say, on the one hand, no, but on the other hand, yeah, what did you think we were making the game about?
That's it, right? It was like, it seemed to be going that way. Like it was...
We just took it to its natural conclusion.
And
Yeah.
that's
Natural,
the
quote,
concept is something that well, what's more natural than a baby who you spend money to speculate on its future on?
I'm jumping into the sun.
Weirdly to us now, not a lot. That's weirdly normal. Like, it's...
But this concept has been around from before the launch of organ trading. Organ trading was in development, and we were talking about places it could go. One of the ideas was Space Warlord Mecha Trading Simulator, Space Warlord Dimensional Trading Simulator, where you had to bounce between 4 different versions of the auction market at the same time, completing missions on 4 different vectors, cool. And so you're juggling like the 4 different dimensions. It would have been, if people are like, wow, this is a lot of information overload, that would have killed you. But Baby Trading Simulator really stuck with me even then, as if we're exploring this theme and talking about it, Strange Scaffold games come to 2 things in a lot of cases: horrible consequences and earnestly reckoning with the inherent value of sentient life. So going with the deep devaluing, learning about viaticals and becoming radicalized to the point that I stuck a storyline about it into Sunshine Shuffle. There's some games that you think of and you go like, ha, that would be funny. And then some that just stick with you. Some that you feel a desperate need to see a version of them come to life. And I'm really excited that we not only got to make Baby Trading Simulator, but we got to make it with you, Chris.
Because, yeah, you really hit it out of the park, man. Like, that music is really good. Like, it's really, like, you somehow managed to make an oppressive atmosphere that, like, it isn't nice, also feel like I'm enjoying a tune, and I also don't feel overly oppressed by, like, all the sounds and everything, which is a skill, man. Like, that's not nothing.
Yeah, no. I mean, again, I think part of that too came from just being like the composer and the sound designer. Like, oftentimes, like in audio, at least you should be in conversation with all your audio folks, which really was just me talking to myself, I guess, being like, well, is this gonna make sense? How's that? How's this? And then like doing the right levels and balance passes too. But I do have to hand it to obviously Xalavier and Dan, who's not here too, of like having just fantastic ideas of like, oh, like this should have a sound, this should have a sound, and then like being able to have those conversations, and just having like a really good sense of the aural space too, in addition to the design of the game, which I think is also just absolutely fantastic. I mean, Xalavier, you write a lot on like pretty much every game that Strange Scaffold does, but like again, like your fingers are in all the pies when it comes to like all assets, all parts of the games. So like just even having like your input on like the music and the sound design and stuff too is just like, I don't know, it's just very beneficial. It's very easy to, when someone's just like, this is working, go for it. And like it, like Xalavier is so, you're just so encouraging, and again, in all things. But whenever someone is just kind of like, they get that thumbs up from you or the fire or just like the fuck, this is so good, just the amount of like fuel that gives everyone, as myself included, especially in this, I'm just like, oh yeah. And then like, again, like even in the Discord, like I know there's like a chat in there somewhere where I'm just like, what was it? Dan said something. He's like, we should probably have audio for this. And you're just like, well, we could probably just use this thing. And I was like, oh, I'm actually a little disappointed I don't get to write a new track for that. And you're just like, all right, what the heck? What the heck, kid? Go ahead. Go and make some tunes. So like, I don't know. It was, that kind of stuff. So it was really, really cool.
Dude, I will say that also speaks to how good you are in the you are regularly having interactions with people being like, this fucking rules. Like, that you do make very good stuff on the same point. But yeah.
And you make them quickly. So when you say, I wish I could make a track about this, I know that with us sometimes having a couple of months before we launch a game, it's like, we don't have space to fit that in, and then find if there is the need for alterations, that taking a long time back and forth, you can knock out a track like no one's business. And upon receiving focused feedback, or even just sort of talking about vibes reached, do some really cool stuff there. So at a certain point, when the entire team was when it went from us discussing what the music needed to be to the entire team coming in and saying, well, maybe we could push this further, get a sound effect on this.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing you collaborate with everyone else has been one of my favorite parts of making the game.
Oh, thank you. I love that. Oh gosh. Well, that's it for the podcast, folks.
Wow.
I got my validation I'm done.
I'm just a mess
That's
now. I'm on camera. I can't cry. No. No, oh my gosh. That means the world to me. It really, really does. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's you've definitely slotted in incredibly well into Scaffold. Just when Xalavier was talking about that collaboration, it's like that's a big thing. When that works, and when I can see all the people working well together in that way, it's like, yeah, we're gonna make this is gonna be good. Like, because it's everyone's like not on the same page, but they all know what they're working towards. Like they're all reading the same encyclopedia, so it's like, let's go. But speaking of leaving, don't do that yet because
no.
you
Stick
have
around.
a cool thing to discuss. Chris, would you like to kick us off as you know the show well with our cool thing? I normally wait and let the guest go later, but it's like, you already know. I don't need to tell you. So what have you brought to the Cool Things Club this month? Yeah.
Yeah. So I did tease earlier that it might be an album, and then I changed my mind last night because it's one of those things where you remember something. Nice. You're like, oh my God, I have to talk about this. Because I've only gotten to talk to my girlfriend Kathleen about it and my friend Darren about it. But the Netflix show, The Devil's Plan. Have any of you seen this? No. Oh, this is great. This is great. It is.
I don't think.
It's okay. It's just amazing. So essentially, it's a South Korean show, where like you get, I think, like 10 or 12, like some of them are like famous like Korean actors or like even like news anchors, or in the case of last season, like a professional Go player, which was wild to me. But they all go in this house and there's puzzles to solve. Like secrets and stuff like that to like look into, and it's all in the in the desire, like whatever, to find these things called pieces, right? And like with those pieces, like if you have so many, you're essentially gonna win. If you have none, you're out. You're gone. That's it. You leave. But it's like there's like a game not every week, but like every day they're playing, and it's like it's a new game. It's just like something that some designer came up with. And there's like social deduction. There's lying, and I'm doing a really bad job of talking about it. But like,
is this a reality show?
It is. Yes. It's a reality show.
I was slowly putting that together. But first I thought it was like a scripted show. And
no.
I have a different game every week. This sounds amazing.
It's the most unscripted. This also sounds
amazing.
Yeah. No. It is absolutely phenomenal. Like I loved season 1, and Netflix does a bad job of advertising it, I guess, because like I learned like 2 months after season 2 came out, we were just like, well, what should we watch? And we looked and we're like, season 2. We started it immediately. When I tell you, we were just like, no, we cancel whatever we're gonna. This is what we're doing for the next
this is it.
3 evenings. We're just gonna watch this, and oh my, like the tensions are so high when you watch it, and you get so excited, and like there's so many like camera cuts too, and like. I don't know. It's just a fun, really great show. Season 3 has been greenlit, I suppose, too. Okay. And they changed things from season 1 to season 2. Like in the first season, people would go to, it's called like the prison, and it was like 2 people. But even then, like there's secrets in there, and you can get an advantage, for later on in the game. They changed that in season.
You get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool.
Can they escape? What the stuff? Yeah, I want to know like mechanics now. I'm like, how is this? What are we doing?
Like, you can't escape like the little prison area type thing, but you're essentially like released like the next morning, like the next day, so you can participate in the next game. But you're given like a disadvantage. Like it's not as comfy, it's not as cozy. The food, like they give you like bread and water and like a soup or something, for food.
They send you to prison?
Frankly, that's all I need.
Actual prison, like
pretty much. But
I do love soup.
It is so good.
Me too.
It's right. I mean, again, I would rewatch it honestly, even knowing who wins each season. One thing I will say. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the funny thing of like how it's so different from like, like American or possibly even, like UK, what is it called again?
Like
Reality
internet
TV.
reality TV.
Yeah. Is that like the people that at least that they brought on for it, right? It's like here in the US we wouldn't have news anchors, in a reality show, right? Like you wouldn't
You've got
have
reality stars.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
we might have like actors and actresses, like like they do there too, and musicians. They have like some like K-pop folks and other musicians that'll come on. But like season 2 was so funny in that like oh yeah, and this is a professional Go player, and he walks in the door, and every like you famous celebrities in Korea again, actors and actresses, musicians, and all that. They all look at him and they're like, oh my god, it's him. It's like he's the most famous person walking through that door. And it is, I don't know, there's
It's the
something
guy.
just so cool about that. And I'm like, oh my
My
gosh.
first reaction, if I saw a professional Go player walk in the door, would be like, "Oh, I'm losing. You've set me up to lose.
I know.
You
Oh,
set
I'm
me up to
fucked.
humiliate myself in front of my entire family, my child,
The country.
Everyone is going to in this country is going to know that I've been set up to play a little clown baby and then die."
And the whole thing is like that's mostly true. But then he gets there. He gets there and he's just like, oh, that's that singer I really like. Oh, I hope I get to talk to her. Like, and meanwhile,
shit.
Everything.
it's the funniest thing. It's
Different worlds.
I had a
funny,
similar
it's
thing happen.
heartwarming.
My like Korean reality TV show of choice is Culinary Class Wars. I
Culinary
freaking
Class
love that
Wars?
show. Yes, they
As
have.
in a class of... Oh, sorry. For some reason, I thought you meant class war, as in, like, finally, we're going after the upper
No,
class.
like kinda, but no, not in the way that
With
would
ya.
be interesting.
With you. My brain just heard class war and went...
You've been
sorry.
working on
no,
Space
you're
Warlord
not
Baby Trading
incorrect.
Simulator. That makes sense.
You're not incorrect because it's white spoons versus black spoons, and there's 20 white spoons
okay.
that are like Michelin star. They're Michelin star ranked.
Purely the color
like-
of the
like-
spoons. Good. Gotcha. Right.
Purely the color of the spoons.
Good.
So there's white spoons that are like Michelin star, like I have cooked for the president for 3 decades, like this kind of, and then
Yes.
80 black spoons
80.
who are like, I own a restaurant, but I don't have like critical acclaim, or like I make lunches for school children. Like it's a really wide variety.
The worst
and
critics.
literally in the first round, they eliminate 60 of the black spoons.
Whoa, I was
What?
hoping that narrative would be like, and then these hard-working chefs that actually make stuff for the people every single day.
It is brutal,
no.
but the
Turns
reason I
out
bring
they're
it
not as
up
good.
beyond it also being a Korean reality TV show is on the second season that I'm watching right now. One of the white spoons that they have, one of the big famous people they have, is a venerable monk. She is like a master
Wow.
Buddhist cook. Like that is her thing, and literally anytime she like walks on, like everyone else like like gasps and like bows, and I'm like, I'm trying to imagine if like the Pope was on a reality
Yeah.
TV show. I'm
what's
like,
the
what is the
equivalent?
equivalent? Yeah, exactly.
The new Pope does
Archbishop
have a
of
Best
Canterbury
DJ.
walks
Chicago
in.
so-
dog
Like-
you've ever had.
Yeah.
Tasted holy.
To be fair, yeah, I forget that the Pope is American. Yeah, I was just thinking, I was like,
Deep
oh, the
dish Pope.
Archbishop of Canterbury, like that's the head of the Church of England. I'm like, does he walk in like or she? We just elected a new one, but like, yeah, that's wild. Like that's
I'm
a
so
really
curious. I
interesting
love-
New
concept.
show I need to watch then, yeah.
There we
It's
go.
very good. But I love that that's consistent from what it sounds like across
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
like
yeah,
reality
yeah,
TV shows. Of it's just like, here's someone who like I would never expect to see in this context.
Yeah.
From my understanding of it. That's so cool.
Yeah, and for me too, it was like, I mean, again, like it is, I suppose, a relatively small country, but like the recognition too, right? Like there's like, I work in retail, which is fine to an extent, I guess. But like we'll get like famous people
It's
walking
not, it's
in.
okay. I did it for a long time. Like, it's okay.
I just
Like-
mean, I don't mean like yeah, whatever, yeah. I just mean like, all right, fine, yeah, here we are, the inevitable. But like we'll get like famous people walking in, and I'll be chatting with them, and I don't know who these people are, right? Because they're like sports, like big sports people. If it's like a tall person, I'm like, oh, like you play basketball or something, and they're like, yeah, I do. I'm like, oh, cool. What do you do? Like I work for, like I'm a player on the Clippers. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't watch.
This means nothing to me. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. But so like I don't know, the fact that like again like a board game player, I mean Go is great too, but like to walk in the door and have a bunch of people recognize you for who you are, and like obviously like the hard work and the talent that you have, and like the intelligence too, my God. Like I'm like, oh my, that's, to me that's just so different like from what we get, here in the States for reality TV.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, ours is trash.
It really feels like a downfall of American reality TV. I've been watching The Traitors a lot because a new series of that in the UK just finished.
I want to try that.
And I
one.
would like
Or watch it.
Well, here's the thing. The UK one is brilliant. Like, and they also did a celebrity Traitors, and they were genuinely like, have you heard of Stephen Fry? You may have heard of Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
He's in he's in it.
Wow.
Like and it's like top tier celebrities, which I think were booked just because the show, it had only had 2 seasons at that point, and it was so popular and people loved it that it was like they got really famous people. But the normal UK one is just normal people. Like there's no famous people in it at all, and it kind of, that's what the show is. And then I was like, oh, because the Irish one has just come on. That's very good as well. We're enjoying that. And I was like, oh, I should check out the American one, because like at least a couple of drag queens, like Bob the Drag Queen was on a season. I think Monet Exchange was on a season. And I was like, oh, right, I like them. I should look at this. But like it's mostly reality stars, and it just, the way the program works doesn't lend itself to people that are really used to being on camera and used to managing their public image and performing and doing all this stuff, when the program is about discovering traitors among you so you can get rid of them and win some money as a team. So yeah, and a lot of American reality shows I see are like that, where it's like you have a celebrity like person where it's like, oh, these are just people that do this like professionally. So it removes from the arc.
The golden age of any American reality TV show is like the first 3 seasons, because that is the point before it gets metagamed. That and the original thing that it came from. Me and my wife watched, I don't know if we've talked about this before, Farmer Wants a Wife.
You have.
Farmer Wants a Wife.
At least with me, you've talked about this show.
Not talked about it with me. I don't know anything about Farmer Wants a Wife.
Oh, that might came up. It came up when we were writing Cantor Vantis.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, not AOR.
No.
That would have been my obvious pick. Yeah, I was like, did that get in there somehow? But yeah.
So Farmer Wants a Wife, we started watching it because members of my wife's family watch it as well. And so we watched the new season, and it's good reality television, but there's this very tangible conflict between people, and people even on the show are actively metagaming and discussing and sometimes arguing with each other about, are you here to be a husband or be a wife, or are you here to be on reality TV? And that's a primal storyline conflict that the producers, among other things, amplify throughout the entire season. And that's a really interesting, because it interacts with American notions of someone's rural nature and their integrity, and all of the myths and legends and self-mythologizing we do about what it means to be American or to be from the country. And we are watching this, and we are getting frustrated as we also experience, oh, I love this. Come to the end of the season. Spoilers for the new season of Farmer Wants a Wife, I guess.
How dare you?
Damn.
These dudes show up on this show where women expose their hearts to them. People who want to be married. Coming from traditional values, because the whole thing is like, it's traditional
That's
values.
the idea.
It's Farmer Wants a Wife. None of these fucking dudes are ready to get married. What are you talking about?
Then why are they there?
Why
They're
would
not
you
Farmer.
drag them through this publicity thing when you are like, hey, I'm not sure exactly when I'm ready to commit? The show is cool. Anyway,
Do they even have a farm? That's my next question. Is it going to be like, they don't even have a farm?
You've got no
Doesn't want a
land.
wife. What's going on?
Man
If the
doesn't
farmer-
want wife.
if the farmer wants a wife, but eventually I'm not sure right now, then you shouldn't be on this show.
Yeah, don't go on Farmer
Similar,
Wants a
you don't
Wife.
want to be a wife. You would sometimes hear people be like, yeah, I don't want to be a wife. And it's like, I would love for people to find love in this cold and dark world. Get off the show. So we end up accidentally seeing that Hulu also has Farmer Wants a Wife Australian edition.
Okay, now that's where stuff's going to get
older.
interesting. The Australian versions of reality shows tend to be a little bit more spicy than, maybe the ones you've seen in the UK. People get a lot angrier, a lot quicker, out of nowhere. At least it's been my experience of the reality shows.
We need to talk more about that at some point, Chris.
Is it the reverse in what happens in the Australian one?
Well, in the Australian one, it's 4 dudes, I think, 4 or 5 dudes. They don't look like movie stars. They're like, yeah, I got a farm, and I live out pretty far from other people, and it would be really cool to meet someone who I could spend my life with. And you get to see them actually go through the process of trying to figure out if this is a person who fits in their life. And sometimes they get misled by someone's appearance, and they're like, they hot though. And you get to see them grapple with that, and the people around them grapple with that. It is, for lack of a better term, authentic. And I think that is something that I... Even sort of when you look at the UK versions of shows, the UK still has a tradition of panel shows. There is a difference in terms of creating creating and projecting voice that is different from American version of fame, stardom, and brand building. And that is why, if we see a show that we're excited about and has an American version, we'll watch the first 3 seasons. And then we look to see what other regions have adapted this show or done it, because I really don't think America is very good at long-term making reality TV.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a shame, because a lot of very good concepts have come from there, like Farmer Wants a Wife, all the classics that we know and love.
I think Farmer Wants a Wife was originally a show from a different region as well. So we didn't even come up with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Stole everything. Sounds right.
Yeah, it's based on the British show of the same name. So we just keep harvesting
There's a British
these
show
wonderful
called Farmer
ideas.
Wants a Wife? I've never heard
2001.
of that. Okay, fair enough. That was a while ago. If I had heard of it, I've forgotten it. That's fair enough. But
a lot happened in 2001. You're forgiven.
Yeah, a lot of stuff went down. It was a busy year. I'm going to move us along, though.
One more thing I want to add,
Please.
actually, because I think this conversation is really interesting, especially in conversation with baby trading, because I actually had a lot of trouble writing for Cantor Vantis, because I was very much thinking of tabloids, Hollywood, that style of fame. And then Xalavier, Tom, and I had a call, and we were kind of talking through the planets that still needed to be written. We were like, okay, how about this for Cantor Vantis? And that's when I first heard about Farmer Wants a Wife. And I was like, oh, I don't know enough about this to quickly write this, because I don't watch reality TV like that. It stresses me out really bad. So it was something that I literally was just I'm not even sure I can tackle this one efficiently.
That was
with
something that was actually quite close to launch, a month or so out from launch. That
Pretty
was
close. It was one of the last things we had to do.
That was Tom. Tom said, okay, this planet works, but it doesn't work well enough, and here's my pitch. And he went into a deep dive of literally 20 reality shows and how he watches them with his partner, and how and how those things work. And that's where we get the now what we call I think on the back end of Cantor Vantis, the villain and the mess storylines. Those didn't exist before. It was all things inspired by the Macaulay Culkin story of and things like Dance Moms, a TLC show of the rise of someone and them existing in what you could call the Hollywood sphere. But it was just the stars, not necessarily all the people who, especially in American culture, exist in between in the practice and art and career of being famous.
Yes.
And Tom brought that to the table and went really, really hard on it. And we were like, okay, us, the writers, will now follow you, the system/narrative designer, and kind of just do punch-ups on this vision you have. And it's part of why Cantor Vantis is so fun to watch now in ways that it wasn't before, but we didn't have a word for why it wasn't as compelling.
Yeah, it definitely feels like reality TV, you know? But
Yeah,
like
it was a pretty strong shift in how we were writing it near the end.
Yeah, it all links. It all comes together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to move us along to me because I am me, and I'm going to talk about an album. Yeah, so I'm glad you didn't talk about an album when you said you're not talking about. Now there's only one album. I am going to talk about, and I'm going to hold up because I bought out my CD of it that I bought at the time. Is Ziltoid the Omniscient by Devin Townsend. So
you have to say that with an announcer voice. Hold on.
Ziltoid the Omniscient.
Thank you.
And just as a little fact at the top, it was something because I was listening to a lot of interviews about the album and stuff like that. It was something that Devin Townsend, who is a musician I like a lot, found out that it is pronounced Omniscient, and he didn't know that until just after the press tour cycle of the album, and was like, "Oh, I've just been saying Omniscient, and that's what I say in the album, and that's the whole thing, and I just said it wrong." But never mind. But
I give up.
yeah, to tell the story of Ziltoid is to go back a little bit to tell the story of Devin Townsend. I'm wearing a Devin Townsend band T-shirt at the moment.
I thought so.
So Devin Townsend is a Canadian musician that I found in the year 2004 with a band that he was in called Strapping Young Lad, which were a heavy metal band. I found them, me and a group of friends that all got into metal at the same time. Mostly via about 2 or 3 CDs that one guy called Adam owned. So he became the godfather and keeper of metal for the beginning, where he was like, I have these 3 CDs. We will listen to them with me. And it was like, yeah, we will. Great. And he had a DVD called... I think it was Monsters of Metal, Volume 1, if I recall correctly. And mostly it was me. It was a bunch of 17, 18-year-old boys sitting in someone's parents' living room because they'd gone on holiday, getting really, really drunk and laughing at cheesy metal videos. Because, like, all of them were ridiculous. Like, the sort of things you'd imagine, like people holding an orb, or like people on terrible green screen, like playing musical, really like solid music here or there, but very cheesy, very exactly what you're imagining. And then right in the middle of it, there was a song called Relentless by Strapping Young Lad. And it's a guy with a... Devin Townsend is a man who had, at the time, a haircut that became known as the Skullet, because he was completely bald all on the head and had long hair growing down at the sides. And that was his look.
Wait,
and
like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror?
Yes, exactly like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror.
Yes.
Like, exactly like that.
Like Riff Raff.
And he's wearing a T-shirt in the video that just says Iron Chef, like in big letters for no real reason. But the song was like... that I can remember the moment, because for some reason it was as if it was the sound I had been searching for like a while just suddenly hit me in this song. And it's like, if you listen to it, I don't know if it would have the same effect on anyone else at all. It may not have the same effect on me to this day if I were to hear it for the first time, but at that point in my life, it just hit. Like, I was like, oh my God. And because I remember... because Adam would tell this story as I got progressively more and more into Strapping Young Lad and Devin Townsend, was that it finished and I just went, put that on again. And like, to play it again. I was just like, this fucking rules. Like, I was like, that was so
That's
fucking
awesome.
good. Like, the rest of this was really silly and it was cool and we had fun and we laughed and like, but like, that ruled. I love that.
That rules.
And from there, I found like he had sort of a bifurcated career, in that like he was in this band Strapping Young Lad that were a very heavy, like, we're a metal band, like, yeah. And then he had solo stuff at the same time that was very sort of it was also like guitar driven. Some of it sounded a little heavy, but there was a lot more experimental kind of prog-ish stuff, and very moving through a lot of different sounds and genres. And like each album would have like a completely different feel to it, like compared to the last. And I became like a huge fan of Strapping Young Lad and Devin Townsend. I was very fortunate to see them live like a few times, and they were not a huge band when I got into them, but they became more and more popular as time went on, in that way that where you get into something when you're younger, like a band, and you feel like you're a part of it. Like, and when more people start getting into it, it's like, oh shit, everyone else is figuring it out. This rules. Like, to the point where I saw them, I had one of the worst times of my life going to Download Festival, which is a heavy metal festival. Turns out I don't like going to festivals. I found that out at Download Festival. Not a good place to find it out. But found that out there. But Strapping Young Lad, the first time I'd seen them in 2005, they played a venue in the UK called the Astoria, which, to make me feel incredibly old, the venue doesn't even exist anymore. It got demolished. Like, it's how long ago this feels like it was. Yeah, like this is like now, like 21 years ago. Like, I saw them, which I'm like, oh God. But I saw them there, and it was a pretty small venue. It wasn't very big. And they hadn't even opened like the upper floor to the venue because so few people had come. Like, it was half full, and they just left the upstairs bit shut because they were like, there's not enough people to even open it here. By 2006, they played at Download Festival, which is one of the biggest metal festivals in Europe. It's like a huge, like loads of, it takes place at the Goodwood, I think it is. It's one of the big like Formula One racetrack places. Yeah, it's a good wood. Like, they've got it there. Okay. It's the good kind. But it's huge. Like, it's the thing where if you see a camera perspective from someone on stage, you can't quite see where the people end. Like, from that view, like, you just see people going backwards, like to no end. They played there,
this is
and
gorgeous.
somehow,
I'm just looking it up right now. Goodwood. This is massive.
It might be Goodwood. Yeah, it's one of the racetracks, I think, in the UK that Download takes place in. But they played there, and they managed to get on the main stage. It was in the middle of the day, so it wasn't like a headline slot. But they got on there, and I got to watch like a band and a man that I was like, they're so fucking good. They're the best thing in the world. Like, these are they're gonna destroy this audience. I actually got to watch an audience, like, because he's very much like got a shtick when he was in Strapping Young Lad. He's a very funny man, like, and he's a very charismatic front man. But a lot of his stuff in Strapping Young Lad was like insulting the audience and calling them pieces of shit. But a UK heavy metal crowd, that's exactly what's gonna hit, and it's gonna be, yeah, we are pieces of shit. Fuck us, we suck. Like, they literally have a song that is called "You Suck" that came out, and they debuted it at this festival. It was just about how you all suck. And then about how they suck. That's what the song is then about halfway through. It's like, oh, and we suck. Like, we're the worst of us all. But I watched this crowd, like, not fully know what was going on, slowly getting into it, and then fucking loving it. And, like, all the crowd, like, really into them playing. And I could see, like, on Devin Townsend's face, this, like, holy shit, like, in a few moments where, cause you can find it on YouTube because it was fortunately recorded, like, for a TV show, but you see him a couple of times just look like, fucking hell, like, this is a lot of people really getting what I'm doing at the moment. And so that was, for me, it was like, oh my God, this is a beautiful moment. Like, they're going to be huge. Right about 2 months after, the band split up, unfortunately, and that was the end of Strapping Young Lad. And it was the end of Strapping Young Lad, and it was also that Devin Townsend announcing that he wasn't going to do music for a while, and he didn't know if he would again, and he's off now, because the way he described it, and I've listened to him talk about it since, because this was the other part of it, when he said it was over, I had read from previous times that albums of Strapping Young Lads would finish, and then he'd go, I don't think I'm going to do any more of this. I think that's going to be it. And so it was almost like, oh, well, he said that before. That's fine. Like, he wants to do other stuff, and he'll go and do other stuff, and then he'll come back. But this time was like very final, and also like, I'm not going to do anything anymore. I'm going. which was like a horrible moment, like as like a person that had just been through this whole like little ride with this band to be like, but you were there, you did it, and we were all there, like, yeah, we did it, and now we're stopping.
You saw it catch fire, you know?
Yeah, like you're seeing the beginning of it, and you're like, wow, everyone's getting it as well. Like, this is great, and it's
You saw like a firework, and you were like, this is gonna go on forever, and then it was over, and you're like, wait.
And it turns out that Devin Townsend just didn't feel like he was the guy that did heavy metal and sang about how everything was terrible and how everyone sucks and how awful everything is anymore. That was what he was saying at the time. And I've listened to further interviews over the years and just for getting ready for this. And he talks about how he never felt authentic in the heavy metal world. Like he made a few like brilliant albums, but he never really felt like that was him. Like he was I'm the metal guy, like I'm a crazy guy, like something like that. So he is also someone that suffers from a lot of mental health issues, like including bipolar disorder and like a few others. Like he made an album called Infinity once, where this is where he discovered he had bipolar disorder because he went through such a high that he was convinced he was some sort of god prophet making this amazing thing, and that everyone was going to hear this amazing album that he's called Infinity, and it's going to be brilliant, and it's going to change the world. And he describes himself as like turning into the worst person like to be around, like completely buying his own shit and being like, I'm amazing, and going through it. He deliberately put himself through something to make a Strapping Young Lad album, which is an album called Alien, which coincidentally is a very, very good album, sadly, when you find out like the bad time he had doing it. But like he deliberately took himself off of medications because he was like, I can't connect to this art. I can't connect to this music as I am without me feeling like I'm going through some sort of terrible hell in order to sing about some sort of terrible hell that I'm feeling and be aggressive and like make this really, really dark, angry, horrible music. So
he learned that he didn't want a method act.
That was it. Like he basically got to that point and was like, he realized after that album that he was like, I can't do this anymore. Like this was terrible, and I put myself through a horrible thing, and I put everyone around me through a horrible thing just to try and keep doing something that I don't feel connected to anymore. So he stopped. Like they made one more album because they had a contractual obligation, and he said like, I for some reason didn't think that I could just say I don't want to do this, and probably the record label that was headed up by someone who really liked me probably would have said, okay, you don't have to. But he was just like, no, I do, because the band wants to do it, and so we should do it, and I've got to do it. They did a final album, and it culminated with that Download tour, and that was it. Like he describes the moment of like going backstage with the whole band, of them being like, fuck, we're making it, like this is it, like this is amazing, that was so cool. And then him telling them like, guys, I don't think I can do this anymore, like I'm sorry. And the band being like, what the fuck, like we've just done the best thing that we've worked so hard towards, and you don't want to do it.
Wow.
So he goes through all of that, and he like says, right, I'm not going to do anything anymore. I have to go away, and I have to not do anything, because he couldn't even conceive of like, I don't know how I'm going to connect to music or make music without doing all of that I did before, or without putting myself through some sort of horrible time in order to do it. And he was like, he said he would pick up the guitar, and he couldn't even really come up with anything, because he was just sort of like, well, what do I do? Like, if I'm not that, what do I do? Like, sort of a thing.
Wow.
And then in, I think it was 2009? No, 2007. It wasn't even that long. He was only gone for a year. In 2007, he comes out with the album Ziltoid, the Omniscient, which is just by Devin Townsend, and all of the music on it is him. Like every instrument, the drums are done, the programmed drums in Easy Drummer, using I think it's Tune Track, that sort of thing. It's a drumming program, and basically they just come out with a new version that sounded a lot more like drums than anything ever had before. So he's like, oh, I can actually, it might not be great, but like I can just do this thing. And he hit upon the concept of this alien, Ziltoid, who, because it's a musical essentially, the entire album, about Ziltoid the Omniscient, who comes from the 7th dimension, I think, or 5th. He comes from a different dimension and he demands all of the coffee that Earth has because that's what powers his spaceship. And if they don't, he's going to completely destroy the planet. But Captain Spectacular from Earth figures out that Ziltoid is in fact not the badass that he says he is. He's a nerd. Like he's a total dork, and he's not cool at all or dangerous or anything. Because his a big attack on Earth is just him playing this amazing guitar solo and being like, "Check me out, aren't I amazing?" Like while he plays it, and turns out he's a complete dork. And the album goes through a little story of Ziltoid having to face his own reality by the end of it, and the revelation that you can see in the pictures here that Devin Townsend himself made a puppet of Ziltoid.
Oh, no way.
There's little tiny web clips you can
How
find.
did anyone think that wasn't a nerd? Look at him.
Yeah,
That's a dork, and I want to hold him.
The bits of hair that you can see on the back there are actually Devin Townsend's hair that he cut off at the end of Strapping Young Lad and just kept in a box. Yeah,
He kept him in a box.
Because he had let his skullet go to the, because he said he developed what he called shit locks, because he was like, they weren't dreadlocks, I just stopped taking care of myself. So I just had horrible matted hair, and he had all, you can see many pictures of him with exactly that hair. And then when he left Strapping Young Lad and tried to make himself feel better, he obviously cut the shit locks off, but he stuck them to the puppet Ziltoid, because Ziltoid was very much a manifestation of what he felt he was, and was trying to figure out what he was going to be. The very end of the album, spoilers, is it turns out it was he goes to speak to the omnidimensional creator, and he finds out that Ziltoid is a puppet. That's what you are. It's like, you are a puppet. We're all puppets, is the revelation at the end of the album, which is interesting in and of itself, because I just thought of it the other day when I listened to it for the first time in a while, and was like, we sort of are all puppets to our own id and ego, like, in a sense. Like, it's like you're controlling this outer manifestation of yourself that everyone's seeing, but maybe it's not necessarily fully reflective of everything that's within you. I was like, clever stuff. And then that turns out it's the dream of a man that works in a coffee shop that's being shouted at that he should go and get a latte for a customer who's waiting in line, which I think is just there for a gag as far as I can tell. But it's a brilliant album, and it's kicked off him making music again himself, and then with other collaborators over time. And it really was, at the time, it was like, oh, he's gone. And then he was back with something that was so very him, but also very, like, you wouldn't commercially think this is what you're going to do. You're going to make a puppet, because he talked about how he was a big fan of The Dark Crystal, and he fucking loved that Jim Henson made a whole world, and he was like, I kind of want to do something very smaller, but like, I want to make a puppet, and I want to make a character, and I want to do a little thing, and I want to own it. And that was where Ziltoid the Omniscient came from, and Devin Townsend's gone on from there. He has in fact made a sequel album many, many years later, Z2, which was also then put on as a big show at the Royal Albert Hall with like singers and people in costumes, which I got to go to, which was very cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it was it's an interesting point in his career, of which there are a couple. Oh, sorry.
So for Z2,
yes,
did he shave the puppet's head and then put that puppet's hair, which is his hair, on a different puppet?
Z2.
No, he just put the second puppet on medication.
That was it. He has a new puppet that looks a lot more higher budget than the original puppet that he made himself with a friend. So it's the Z2 is it's good. I wouldn't say I like it as much as the first album, but like, that's just, it is. There are brilliant moments on the second album that I fucking love, but like, that first album, it also felt very. It was very, as a fan of an artist, it was very nice, because he's described that like he had a fan base that was bifurcated, and it was a very small amount of people that were into everything that he did, and I was one of those small amount of people who was into everything that he did. I bought this album directly from him. You used to be back in my day. He was an artist that wasn't big enough that all his releases would sometimes be on record labels. You would just order them from his website, heavydevyrecords.com, and a few weeks later, from Canada, a package that had a little card signed by his wife thanking you for ordering it from him would turn up, and you'd get the album. And yeah, that's how I got this one. And
Really good.
yeah,
I
it was
love
great.
notes in my mail. It's one of my favorite things when I order something and someone's just like, "Thanks so much."
You would always get like a little thank you for ordering from us, and signed Tracy, which was his wife, and it was just like, oh shit, yeah, this rules. So you just had this connection to this artist, and then for him to, after all the trauma of what he'd been through, like unbeknownst to those of us that were listening to like Alien as an album, and I still to this day I'm like, the album's, it makes me sad to think how fucking good I think it is, because I'm sad that you had to put yourself through such hell to make what I think is a fucking brilliant album. But like, for him to then reemerge as like a
guilt.
yes, like, but it's just like for him to turn up again with like a silly, like unabashedly silly thing that also had like, was also wrapped in the story that you of him, and also like just a, and it's like a sci-fi musical-y thing, so I'm gonna be into it. And it was a very good album, and it came out a time when I was very, very into him as an artist, and yeah, it was very nice. So anyone that is into any sort of heavy music or progressive music, I would definitely recommend checking out Devin Townsend, and I would definitely recommend checking out Ziltoid the Omniscient if you like the sound of what I just described. It's difficult to talk about music without just playing music, but the story around that album is the thing to me that I'm like, yeah, that fucking rules. So yeah,
Chris,
that's my cool thing.
Let's see the shirt.
Oh, so this isn't a Ziltoid shirt. This is it's a less exciting. It very much looks like a shirt from 2005. This is for an album from the.
I was gonna say
it is. It's just a tree. It's just a tree. It's from an album called Syncestra, which was the Devin Townsend band that was like the counterpoint to a lot of the stuff with Strapping Young Lad for a bit. And Syncestra, that's still a fucking great album as well. Like, really good. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time of my life as well, where I had a group of friends that we were all doing creative shit. You know, when you look back and you're like, oh, me and my friends, we used to just make films and short videos and do radio things and do podcasts when they first started, and like my friend would do animations on Newgrounds, and we'd all do the voices and like write the scripts and shit. And you think back to that and go, yeah, no one was like making us do that. We were just doing it. Like, it was so lucky.
Things.
They do.
People love making things.
They do love making things. I just think back to like, I'm so lucky that like you find a group of people that like you just do that. Like, you just automatically are like, oh, we should make stuff. Let's all make stuff. We could do things together. And it's not going to be like when you're older and you have that kind of weirdness of like, is it weird that I want to like do weird improv playing with people still? It's like nothing of that at all. You're just like, you would just do it by default and like go, yeah, we should make an animation, and that's what we're going to do. It's like, yeah, those were good times. And that Devin Townsend was a big part of that era and stuff. So it's like, yeah, it was a good thing for me. It's a cool thing that I recommend to everyone who listens.
Thanks for bringing it to the club.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Well, I will move us along to Xalavier. I'm saving Candace because I've seen just a preview image of Candace's, and I was like, fuck, what's this? I want to know. So I'm saving it like it's my dessert, but like it's the best bit. Like, I'm like, this is the best bit of the dinner. Like, I've already had the preview, but I know nothing of Xalavier's. Xalavier, so I could be wrong. So Xalavier, what is your cool thing this month?
I'm gonna keep it brief. For those who are fans of anime,
for those with eyes to see.
For those with eyes to see.
Yes.
Anime. You know what? So let me actually rewind even further back. I would recommend this to people who don't even like anime or think that they like anime. It is a show that came out, I think, in this last year. It is it is anime, I think, at its among anime alienates a lot of people because it is especially at certain times calibrated entirely for its own audience. And you can, if you're inside of that audience, you can feel cozy there, but you can occasionally feel like you are shut up in a little house of nightmares just for you and your other rancid pals.
Your horrible friends on the internet that just want to ruin this for you.
It's cozy, and you're like, the ways in which it's problematic, I'm fine with / understand, but it can also feel, to a degree, isolating. There is an anime that we watched in the last year that is among the most empowering things I've ever seen. It has some of the anime tropes that you may have found alienating, but it is also a celebration of a woman with studded gloves in Victorian dress beating the absolute shit out of any person who even mildly offends her, and in the process saving an entire kingdom. I'm talking about May I Ask for One Final Thing. And
I've heard amazing things about this show.
If you're familiar with the show or the manga One Punch Man, which is like a bald man, subversive, could defeat anything with one punch, imagine that being a Victorian lady who's both playing court politics and just suplexing slavers into the ground at the immediately after infiltrating their inner circle. There is an entire episode that is just the pacing of this thing is so brilliant because I'm not going to talk about the goddesses stealing each other's powers. It's buck wild take on isekai that also is a commentary on people who narrativize themselves as the protagonists of their own reality and how that causes them to be destructive to others. All I want to talk about is this beautiful thing that they set up an episode where the inner circle of the most corrupt nobles in the kingdom are betting on the lives of beastkins. They are gambling on acquiring slaves in a way that the kingdom, several members of the kingdom know and acknowledge, but never bring into the light or confront. She finds out about this ring. She's going to do something about it. And the prince with whom she has this will they, won't they, that resolves in the cutest possible way. They are like, yeah, we're going to take this down, obviously. So the glory and the knowledge of this show, the way that it winks at the viewer, is that it sets up all the pieces to go into confronting the scenario, and then it saves confronting it to be the subject of an entire episode. Because what do we want to see? We want to see simultaneously her beat the living hell out of everyone in this room for as long as possible, and we want to provide a bunch of space for their reactions or fear or begging to go out, and she can say cool one-liners before she dunks them into the ground.
Yes.
If you've ever watched an anime or even just a TV show in general that shows you a horrible piece of shit, and he's like, ha ha ha, but you would never hurt me because there would be consequences. And you're like, damn, it's sad that our character is going to listen to consequences and not... Scarlet Vandemon, our protagonist, she does not care. He says, you would never do this. And then it slows down as she takes her palm, covers the person's entire face, and literally drills their body as blood ascends from their nose in a corkscrew spiral into the ground. And everybody goes alternately, ah! Or, yeah!
Oh, dude. There is nothing more satisfying you want it in real life, but the rare occasions you get it in fiction of the untouchable leader, awful bureaucrat, awful whatever, the moment that you see on their face that they're like, I'm fucked. Like that beautiful, like, no, it's done for you now. And you didn't think that could ever happen, but it is. Like, yeah, I want to see that moment in someone's eyes.
Her power, because she also, the wonderful thing is, not only does she just do this because she has naturally trained this, and she is in her like gorgeous ball gown, she straps on her leather gloves with like studs in them, it starts going to town. She also has some magic powers, so she can stop / slow time, accelerate herself through time. It's all time based, and that means that
you really
again,
know.
that interaction between the tropes of anime and things like One Punch Man, and how I would say, may I ask for one final thing, is a better interpretation and an encapsulation of these concepts.
Wow.
You see this person, they're arrogant. They're perhaps about to ascend into their final form, and she does the thing that you've been wanting anime characters to do this entire time, which is that they're like, I'm going to do my big thing, and she stops time, she punches him 30 times in the neck, and he corkscrews through a wall until he becomes a wink in the distance. I was getting tired of anime to a degree, because like I love anime. I always love anime, but there's times where you're like, there's nothing that speaks to me right now. I'm going through the motions. This single-handedly made me go like, damn, anime's good. Anime's really good. I need to read some manga right now.
Oh, dude. Yeah, what's that show called again?
May I ask for one final thing? It's on Crunchyroll in the United States.
There you go. I am going to watch the shit out of that, because that sounds, as soon as you were describing it, it was like, so I see some vengeance. I see some Quentin Tarantino style, here's consequences that you don't normally get to see, but we're really going to linger on it. Yes. Like, and then like also combined with courtly intrigue. I'm like, this is my, like, if I watch Game of Thrones, the main bit I was interested in was just the small council. I was like, I don't care about dragons. I don't care about this other stuff. Give me these horrible little people trying to do politics and backstabbing each other. And then if someone were to come in with a ball gown and like a glove with studs on it, be like, take this. Someone would like,
what else do you need? You're done.
Yeah.
In the very first episode, the way this all starts is she is betrothed in an arranged fashion to the second prince of the kingdom, not the first prince. First prince, we come to love. He's a delightful little stinker, and she is his actual love interest. She's betrothed to the second prince, though, and he's an arrogant, awful little piece of garbage. And at a big dinner meant to celebrate them, he publicly says, "Actually, I'm gonna get with this other pink-haired maiden. You've wasted all your time. You're trash, actually, and I'm disowning you. I am dissolving our arrangement unilaterally."
Disgusting.
And confronting that public humiliation. I'm not going to spoil everything that happens, but one of the things is she grabs a man's face and then spins herself like Zangief and knocks out a bunch of other barons and nobles who were nearby witnessing this and thought that they were safe from her vengeance.
You're not safe.
You're never safe from her vengeance. Yeah. No one is safe.
That's one of my favorite things, is when like they use a villain to beat other villains in the vicinity. Yeah. It's just so good.
That's gold.
I love that in games and
you can't
movies.
Do that too often, but when you get to deploy it, good stuff. God. Dude, that sounds amazing. That like, because I don't watch like a ton of anime, but I have always watched some sort of anime. Like I think I've spent the last potentially 10 years making my way through Dragon Ball Super, like going through fits and starts with it. Like I'm almost at the end now. But even in that, like even in the most classic of anime, is one of my favorite bits is where it's finally like, all right, you've pushed Goku too far now. He's going into a form we didn't even fucking know about. And after 12 episodes of build up to this fight, he's gonna destroy you now, annoying villain. Like, and I know he's gonna win. And when he finally does, it's like, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball, that takes like 3 seasons.
Yeah, like a year. Like, yeah.
And may I ask for one final thing? It is a tight 13 episodes. You will see someone fuck around, and then in that episode, and likely in the next 60-second period, they find out. And it turns out you can just do that.
I would love to get some fuck around and find out anime, but it doesn't take me 10 years on and off to like watch some of it. Like, because don't get me wrong, when they find out in Dragon Ball, like I'm like, this is some of the best shit I've ever seen. You don't know Goku, he always wins. But to get it really like nice and quick, and also like a lady in a Victorian ball gown puts on in my head, I'm already excited at the idea that like she's just gonna, I know shit's gonna go down because she's like, I'm putting on these fucking gloves, and I'm like, the gloves are on. They're not off. They're on.
They're on.
Yeah, I'm excited just hearing you talk about that show.
I've heard nothing but great things about it, and it sounds like it lives up to the hype.
It sounds like it. Yeah, I'm going to be watching that, no doubt. Now, Candace, your cool thing. You always have some of the best, my favorite cool things. I don't know if I said this on the show. I think I just said it to you in a call yesterday. I was like,
very sweet.
Normally, like, it's me, it's Xalavier, it's someone else. It's like, here's some media, like, like you can watch, read, listen to, something like that. Like, a game, you can play it. Like, we all vaguely, like, it's within the bounds of things that we know. And, like, it's always great, but, like, Candace comes in with some like secrets, like blends that you haven't heard of before, and like, or something just out there on the internet that you're like, I didn't know about this. And that's what Candace's cool things. I'm always like, this is the real club. This is where I lock in.
I hope I'm gonna live up to the hype here.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that on the show, maybe purely because you could be like, well, Garfield is a great comic.
I like Garfield. No. So my cool thing this week is a game studio. Actually, it's I love buildy games. I love games where I make a little town, make a little city, make a little school, have a village. Those games. Like,
I like that.
The other day, I just sat down to play The Wandering Village for the first time.
What did you think?
I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm going to play maybe half hour, maybe an hour. I like looked up. It was like 3.5 hours later. I'm like,
yeah.
You know.
Good time.
Another one I've been really liking a lot lately is Let's School.
I've not played that.
It's really good.
Okay.
It lets you get really into the nitty gritty. I love seeing all these different pieces just like interlacing, and it's this whole world that's just operating. And I love the ones where they can kind of operate on their own regardless of whether or not I'm there.
Yes.
Partially because alongside buildy games, I love mobile games. I'm a big mobile gamer. I think it's very funny because at the studio, like, folks will like be testing levels or whatever, and at least to my mind, notoriously, it took me like 30 minutes to get through the first level of El Paso Elsewhere.
Dude,
I'm
normally
so bad at shooters.
Yeah, we normally meet on like me and Candace can sometimes just both be the people that are like, I'm not very good at this. Like I know it's good, but I know I'm not good at it. Like,
I love watching you play that.
yeah. So like, I'm with you. But...
Oh yeah, no, I'm visual novels, puzzles, buildy games, all that kind of stuff. Not so much action games.
Gotcha.
So what I'm bringing in today is all of the games of Kairosoft.
So I do know this already, but
interesting.
But I don't. I'm
Anyone
excited.
else know Kairosoft? No.
Hell yeah!
Oh, good. I was gonna say. I was like, there's some. I won't say anything because it's your thing, Candace. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, as people recording the podcast with me may have noticed that I keep glancing down. I've been running Kairosoft.
Yeah.
In the background this whole time because I wanted to be able to show it a little bit to y'all in case you were not aware. Literally, which one is this? This is Dream House. I am an apartment building manager in this one.
Oh.
Literally, you just have a little simulated world where people are running around and you can put furniture in and like say, yeah, you should totally date that guy. And all of these different things. It looks like a game from a much older era. The menus look like this.
I was going to say, it may well be a game from a much older era. It's the other part of it.
For those listening, it's very DOS style, simplified boxes.
It's boxes. It's like a very specific kind of gradient that makes me go, this is late 90s, early 2000s. Which I was looking into it prior to today's episode, and it is.
Yeah.
It was founded in 1996 and seems to have just kind of kept going since then, making a shit ton of mobile games. The one that originally I think got me hooked on them is I had an Apple Arcade membership because I think I had just gotten a new iPhone or something. Sidebar, Apple Arcade, you can get a lot of really good games on there. It's good service.
It is.
But the one I got hooked on was, I'm pretty sure it's just called Dreamtown Story.
It's a good one. Yes.
It's so good. You are building and designing this whole city, and what I love about Kairosoft games in particular is like when you first look at it, you're like, this is pixel art that looks exactly the same in every single one of these games. They're probably like, the first assumption you might have is like, they're just churning these out. These games have like a wild amount of depth, like a wild amount of depth.
Yeah.
So,
And they
like,
probably facilitate that by reusing so many elements between them, right?
think
Like
so.
they get to drill down really deep into a system because it's like, it is at least in some way similar as an analog to something else, and they can restyle it to provide a new deep thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite literally the exact same art style in every game. You can go through the first, like, 30 minutes of any one of these games, and they will look and feel almost identical because it is the same kind of tutorialization with literally sometimes the same tutorial text. But they go so deep, and it's really how that depth is kind of revealed is really, it feels really gradual and like natural as you're playing. Like, it's really, really elegantly done. Of like, maybe elegant isn't the right word. I don't know if I could ever call a Kairosoft game elegant looking at it, but the way it's designed is elegant.
Yeah.
And like, one of the things I really love about it is you can get granular down to like single characters living in your city. So like I have so many screenshots from this game because it was all these little tiny storylines of like people bouncing off of one another, because each one of the little people in the city was bouncing off each other. Like, they are in relation to each other in space. So like, these two people living across the street from each other, I like installed a park near their apartment buildings, and so they ended up like, they started seeing each other. And it was like, okay, well, what's your dream job? And it's like, oh, I want to be a supermodel. Oh, what's your dream job? Oh, I want to be an astronaut. It's like, oh, sorry, we go a couple of years later down the line. She becomes a supermodel. He doesn't get the astronaut job, but he gets to become a clown. Literally, this was a story that I had in one of my towns. And then they kept talking in the park.
They writing on the fly?
Chatting. It was amazing. And they keep chatting, and then it's like, yeah, you know what? Hey, we're thinking about getting together. Like, I think which and you, because you're a little omniscient god, you can decide which house they move in for strategy purposes or whatever.
Omniscient.
But like,
I'm sorry.
Omniscient.
Yeah, say it incorrectly. Yeah. Good callback.
Omniscient. Who's to say?
Yeah.
God.
You said it right. Yeah.
I don't even know now. But so you just get all these little emergent storylines of, it's like, these two people live near each other and they have a common love of this one restaurant. So now they're falling in love, and oh, look, they have a kid, and this and that, and it keeps going generation. Like, literally, as I was sitting here and had it open on my phone during this podcast, one of my first tenants in this building became a retiree and had a kid. And so, like, now her kid is living in the building, and eventually, like, that original character is going to pass away, but her kid will still live in that apartment.
I didn't. So Kairosoft. So I knew, because they also reuse so many systems, they can do incredibly specific fantasies. Like, I just looked at their page. Now they have skating rink story, and like,
they do.
PC and console games are still stuck on, well, we can do city builders, but can we do like neighborhood builders? Can we do like a school? And like Kairosoft,
they are unchained from any of those limitations.
Are you aware of Game Dev Story, the one they made?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, because that was the one for me, like game dev. So when I played that, that was my savior when I was working a retail job where I worked in this, like, it was a shop that was about the size of the room I'm in, and I'm in a very small room that sold greetings cards with swear words on them and whatnot. And it was just me on my own for like 8 hours a day sometimes, and I would just put whatever music I wanted on, but the day would go so fast because there was a good couple of months where I was just playing Game Dev Story because that game was so good. Like,
it's so engrossing, and like you can let it just sit and play on its own for a while. Like I think that's one of its strengths is you can just set it down and it's going.
I have to serve a customer. I can put the phone down and be like, hey.
But also, it can be something that you are working like really granularly. Of it's like I know if I combine this type of flooring with this type of plant and this type of window, I get a bonus to every kind of this stat for every resident in this building. Like. It can get really, really granular if you want it to be.
Yeah.
And that was the part I didn't know about Kairosoft. Like, I loved the hyper-specificity. I loved specificity. I loved the reuse of things. The thing I didn't know is typically in, like, what we call, like, the idle game or the build game genre, all these people are identical and interchangeable. So the fact that you have people in... your Pocket Academy, in your The Manga Works, in your Skyforce Unite, and they have a continuity of life down to their kids, so you can see, you know, in a longer save, I know this adult, I know their grandparent, I chose who spawned you to get together.
Yes.
I had no idea they were working on that continuity, and that's... As a developer, that scares me more than any of the other shit you're doing.
It's so cool. It's so, like, it's one of those things of, it's like, I love playing these games. I'm not sure I ever really want to work on one because it's so deep. It's so deep.
To me, that feels like the people that are making those games are the same people that were making those games like 30, 40 years ago. Like, to me, that feels
case,
like...
literally, yes.
Yeah, like, that feels like institutional knowledge of, like, we can keep going with this because we know this so well to the point where, like, we are that granular because we're like, well, we know all these other systems work and we know how they work, but could we do this with it now? And, like, could we make it this complicated? It's like, oh, that's the new thing that we do. Like...
And I think a really fun thing about it, too, is, like, this ended up being one of my, like, bust out all the sticky notes games. Because it was, like...
Yeah.
It became... I was playing it on my phone, and I think it was Dreamtown Story that I did this for, was literally I would discover it's like, okay, if I put the donut shop next to the electronics store, I get a bonus. But if the donut shop is also next to a hot pot place, then I get a different bonus. So I crafted, like, the ideal blocks of it's, like... Here's how I can get 7 bonuses all stacked on each other so that all these different... And, like, literally, like, drawing grids of, like, how do we get all these, like... That's how I know that this is, like, really, like, an in-depth, like, it's got me type building game.
What you need to do is, like, choose whatever your area is, or let's, you know, for me, Los Angeles, and be like, all right, let's build Sawtell, and what bonuses is Sawtell getting right now?
Yeah. Like, I remember playing Game Dev Story, and that you would, like, you were making the game, and you would have to worry about the employees you bought, and if they were, like, fully, like, they would be sent, if they weren't sent home to sleep, you would get more bugs in your game, which would make your game shittier, and you would have to do stuff where it was like, okay, because your game would come out and then it would get reviewed. So you would be like, all right, well, I know this outlet really, like, the market seems to really favor, like, action, good graphics, like, these are the things that are important for reviews at the moment. Can I get a game out in time that's still relevant by the time it comes out? And but I have to work my developers so hard because if I don't, we won't come out on time. But if I work them so hard, the game's going to be full of bugs, and the more bugs that pop up on that screen while the game's being made, the lower my score's going to be because my game's getting worse and worse.
We're doing a lot to try to... Chris, we're trying to do a lot to improve Strange Scaffold's processes, okay? we don't hit the button anymore.
No, but like you'd be doing that, and then it would have a game of the year ceremony in it, like at the end of the financial year sort of thing, and you in your game would make it.
I
It
have
would
to
mean
play
more
some of
sales.
these games.
Yeah, like and then
Really good.
you would get like, because if you kept playing it for longer and longer, like all the new hardware would keep coming out, and it was all the companies and consoles were loosely based on real things. So there was like Nintendo and Sega, but like different, they weren't called that, and it just looked a bit like that stuff. And you went through the whole generations, and then it would just keep going. And like the history of the like Microsoft and Nintendo and PlayStation would just continue into the future if you kept playing the game, and new versions of systems come out. And when a new system come out, you had to worry about like, well, I've got to be able to buy this thing that means I can make games for that system.
Yeah, I need the dev kit for it.
Yeah, I need the dev kit for that system, but we can't afford the dev kit for that system. So I've got to put out another game on the older hardware now, and it's got to hit, or I can't get the new system. Like, yeah. And that was like probably 20 years ago or something as well. I remember like was playing that one. So it's like, it's good to know they're still doing good stuff. Like I kept meaning to play more because it's on Apple
They're still
Arcade.
coming out. I mean, they're on Apple Arcade, and like they're ported to almost everything. Like you can find them wherever you like to game. They're there. They're
there.
Definitely on Steam. They're definitely on Switch. Those are where I've played them. I love playing it on my phone the most because it just clicks
Feels
in a
right.
good way. You can tell it was the first place it came.
Yes.
It feels like that, at least to me.
Yeah. I like I said, I had such a, like, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh man, I've got a really good like little memory of like, man, I played a lot of game dev story. Like, like I got way into that. Like,
and like, it's just, I don't know a lot of build games that do it as well as they do. Like, literally, I can, once I get through this in a word, let me click through. Literally, I can like go in here and I can tap on a person and just follow them around their entire day of like, what is she up to today? Oh, she's just gonna chat a little bit and like work at her desk. All right, and now she's gonna go head off to her kitchen, and like, it does this for every single character in the game simultaneously.
like, that's stuff you like dream of. Like that's stuff that like I
Grand
would play
Theft Auto
like
wishes.
or like you play Cities Skylines or like Sim City or something like that, and that's the stuff that when you were a kid you would be like, and can you imagine in the future like you could just click on a person and they'd have like a whole day and you'd watch them and they'd interact. Like that's like mad future feeling stuff. It's like, and it's just right there. Like Kairosoft are just doing it.
Doing it. And I mean,
I love that.
This whole episode is going to be me being like, so like in baby trading, but like, so like in baby trading.
We're a week
my
out
little
from
mouse
it
voice.
launching, just for everyone, for context. So we're still very in the baby trading headspace right now. So yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
But Kairosoft was one of the biggest like inspirations for like how I was writing events on planets. Is I was thinking about
I can
like,
see that now.
Yeah,
I
as soon
did
as
not
you said
realize
that,
it.
I'm like, I get that. Now you've said it.
like super explicitly. It was a conversation I think Tom and I had where I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about Kairosoft games when I'm writing these, because I'm like, how I don't necessarily pay attention to every little piece of minutia, but the order of things, and if I see enough of them in order, I will see a story, even if I'm not explicitly telling you a story.
Yeah.
And that's genius stuff. Like, it's very difficult to do. Like, it's very, and it is something I'd say you've definitely succeeded on with
We
baby
see it
trading.
come up over and over again with
All the
people reacting
time.
to the game. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, they learned how to fire a gun. Oh, and it went off under their pillow. Okay.
Yep.
And it's
there
like,
you
that's
go.
a story.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
comic story.
It's not RNG, like in the grand scheme of things too, which I see a lot of people mentioning still, which is, okay, but
We're going to make a video about that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's the next little video that's going to get put together, which is just explaining that system, like, and how that all works. And not because people have fully misunderstood it, but just because mostly because a couple of people have also asked, being like, how does that work? Can you tell me? And I'm like, we should do a thing about
People are seeing
this.
like the shadow of the thing, and they're like,
That's
what's
it.
casting that shadow? They're
Yeah.
like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, there's a lot of really clever stuff under a hood that, like, and just from, like, from your perspective, Candace, like, from your work, like, writing them in that way is a big part of like how you go. It's the, what is it, the Mr. Plinkett thing where it says, you don't notice, but your brain did. Like, it's like you see like the stories being put together in front of you and you're like, oh yeah, oh, I just saw a life. Like I saw a little thing happen.
People are absolutely excellent at telling stories, partially because part of telling a story to yourself is, in this case anyway, is pattern recognition.
Yeah.
It's just seeing a things in sequence and being like, that's a story. And like, that is a story. A story is things happening in an order, oftentimes. Like,
yeah.
So it's just really relying on people to. This game trusts the player a lot, and I think it's paid off really well.
I didn't know. I was sitting here thinking this, and I was like, I don't know how inside this is and how interesting it is to other people, but something that's been incredibly gratifying to me over the last week has been the amount of time that I know myself, Mike, Xalavier, you, Candace, like a lot of us have like, and I know I just specifically because it was my focus, but like seeing all the things in the game and being like, this is all the stuff that I think are the things that people are going to connect with this game. This is the language around it that like I think is correct. And I think if players get this and if players lock in with what I'm trying to move them towards as to like, look at this part, look at this thing. It's like, if they do it, they really will. And you never know. Like you never know if it's going to work because so much of that is chance. Like so much of people connecting with something or finding something is chance. But just watching people in real time genuinely start saying all the things that you're like, these are all the things that I've been saying that are like, this is what we wanted you to think and feel while playing this game. Like, and you are like, look at you go. Like incredibly gratifying. Like just to see everyone's work just connecting in the way that we all hoped it would is incredibly gratifying. Like, and that's it, even just from a like marketing comms perspective, where I'm just like, oh, you are the things I said, the things I thought would be the things that I was like, we need to make sure we say it this way and do this. It's like, oh no, you all got it. Like you all get it and you're all saying it. Like, oh, it's worked. Like,
You got it.
yeah, it's rare. And it's truly incredible. Again, we're a week in, but like it's in this moment, a week in,
It's been a
like
great
with
week.
it's been an
Truly,
amazing week for this game. Like it's been like, again, how inside this is, I don't know, and how over, because I don't want to get too wild with it, but like just from like my own, I just sit back and watch. I'm just like, shit, this is going pretty fucking well actually. Like, I'm like, especially when like someone like Northern Lion playing the game. Me and Christa were talking about it. Christa, who sadly doesn't work at the studio anymore. That's because they got a really cool job working for a really great studio, doing great stuff. And we were just talking after the game came out. I was literally like, dude, all the stuff that we talked about, that we said, that like, oh, like we're gonna do all this stuff, and people will hopefully pick up on it and start saying it themselves and get the game and do it. And it's like, they fucking are. Like, and you know how we were like, it would be amazing if we can just lay enough groundwork that this will get noticed by some sort of content creator and that will move up a scale. They are. It's like, oh my god. It's really good. It's really gratifying. Not only personally, but mostly because my main thing is taking something that someone else, like a group of people have worked on, understanding it and being like, look, everyone, look at their beautiful thing that they've made. And when people do see it and they're seeing it and appreciating it in exactly the way I've watched that group of artists say, this is the source, this is the stuff that if people get this, they're going to love it. To then see that come back is just like, oh shit. That's the good stuff. So yeah, it's been a really good week. It's been a very good week.
To speak towards that as well, like I really underline the point here of, I think that part of the reason it resonated so completely and like people really, really are understanding and like clicking with the game in the way that we were hoping, which is, like you said, very gratifying. I think one really big reason towards that is the clarity of vision and direction towards that.
Absolutely.
Like giving Xalavier his flowers and giving the entire team their flowers, because like the game does not shy away from what it's saying really at any point. and it's very, very explicit about what we're talking about, to the point where some events that I've written months ago are showing up in the news now. In a way that I wouldn't love, actually, but it is really speaking really honestly about what we're talking about, and it is very present in people's lives. Like there was one example. So the first planet that you start on in the game is AOR, and it's a farming planet. And one of the negative events is I think it's arrested for fixing farm equipment.
Yes.
And like that's literally just a
real thing.
Like that is an escalation. It's the temperature turned up on a real thing that happens just in the world. Yeah. And that's so much of what this game is it's like we see where we are. What if it got worse?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's something I've been talking about with other people, and I guess it's weird because, Xalavier, you're here, but it's something that I talk about as something I've learned and really respect about Xalavier and working here in particular, is that it's like that clarity of vision and that dedication to being like, no, this is the thing I'm going to say, this is the thing I want to say, and this is the game that I want to make, and sticking with that, where it's like, you can't imagine most places going Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator, and also it's not like, also while there is humor and while there is good times, it also isn't like, also there's a very serious undercurrent to this game. It's something that like it's an infectious feeling of like that kind of, oh shit, like we're saying it and doing it at the same time, and that's something I really respect and admire, and I've learned from yourself, Xalavier, and also like from a lot of people here. But it's just like having that clarity of vision and being able to see it in action and being able to see it in the art, and then you can then like realize things about other pieces of art where you're like, oh, I can see how this maybe changed because of something being different, and oh well, we got this feedback and it like people didn't like this thing, so we added a thing that made something easier, or we added something that made something, and it's like, no, you didn't get it. The friction was what made the game, and yes, you are going to push away some people, but the people that are going to resonate with this friction are really going to resonate with this friction and are really going to get it. And it's something like I had to learn from being here as well. Like, and it's incredibly admirable, I think, and good of this studio. And it's something it's the thing I say that I'm like, that it's the thing I want of people that are here, and it's the thing I want of people talking about us, that I'm like, I want people to get that, and I want people to love this. That's my main thing, that I'm like, I want you to see this and you should love it like I do. Look. Look upon this thing.
I really appreciate the flowers. Thank you for the flowers. I have too many flowers. He's
developing an allergy.
The thing that
there's so many bees.
The things that y'all are touching on is a big part of the reason why generative AI depresses me. Not because I think it's going to destroy people making things, as long as it doesn't like literally kill the planet and get to that point. Like it's the human spirit will still be there. Human creativity will still be here. The awful corruptive power of generative AI is that it is a can machine, not a should machine. And that's so much of what we talk about at Strange Scaffold is, even on baby trading, it's like, okay, before we had the short button, there was a variety of different buttons we considered, because we hit a moment where it's like, we need a third verb during the day. We need to figure out what that shape is. And we talked about the conditions around what it needed to be and what it could be and what it couldn't be. And then we convened the next day around what we would proceed with after we all had sort of pitches and a discussion around it. And on the executive level, generative AI being here lets you come in and say, well, why not just have all the buttons? Or let the players select and customize their button and create their build. People love build crafting, right? If you can build craft, that isn't the same as having one option. It is a distinct other and different thing, and something that I'm very grateful for the creative and production crew, just basically everyone at Strange Scaffold for, is that something we've really coalesced around is each one of these things is important, and the more we have of one thing, the less we have of another thing. Choosing what's not in the game as much as what's in the game tells both the players and the team what the game is, and a world where generative AI either lures executives, developers, or both into things like voice acting. Could Space Warlord Baby Training Simulator have every news headline have voice acting? Yeah. Does that make the game better? That's not just a polish thing or a budget thing. That is a feel thing. That is a game feel and pacing, and it's a choice. And
You're
generative AI turns
in your head. Like, that's not
you're
nothing.
reading it in your head and how you react to it. So much of what I talk to people about, especially because the trading day is not random. It is predetermined from the beginning of time.
It was always so.
They were always going to throw an executive out of that window. That's what I'm going to say at my hearing.
Hey, it wasn't me. All right.
Pretend you don't speak English briefly.
It was predetermined from the beginning of the world, but like the idea of so much of this game from the very beginning was designed to be played in your head. It is your biases. It is the reason why we have what I would call like anticipatory moments of like, addicted to buzz filter, is because you in your head have all of these fun, horrible little biases around drug users and the stories you tell yourself about who they are and what they can be. And the game gets to play itself in your head in the moment between you whether you click buy, sell, short, and playing out those consequences. The idea of you can add more features, you can pull more things into that game, but the instant you do, what you are making has changed. And I'm so thankful to be in a workplace where I've been doing this wider games thing for 17 years now, and I don't have to, especially at this point, really explain to the people in these rooms, it's important that we remove features or don't put in pieces of a game to clarify what it is. Everyone is also really focused on chiseling a thing into the right shape, not just the biggest shape or the shape that has the that even demonstrates the maximum of our craft. There's things we can take further, but is it what the game needs or wants? I'm so thankful to have a group that asks those questions and really coalesces around being more precise and looking for ways to do that in a way that's kind to each other. It's part of why I'm still here.
Exact same.
Well, it's good that you're still here.
Yeah,
for all of our sakes.
Like, you do come up with the games. You're definitely the person that we need still here. So I'm very glad for that. But yeah, and also because we'll wrap up soon. But I just say, fuck Gen AI, fuck the whole fucking thing. The thing these fucking idiot monster suit people forget is that people like making things.
Yeah,
they enjoy
Candace
the
said
craft.
it earlier. The people want to create.
Yeah,
we want to
I watched like my 8-year-old niece come up with. She makes games herself, like just on bits of paper, and like she made a little stop motion animation that she showed us. I was like, she could have just fucking asked ChatGPT to go, "Can I see a teddy bear waving and running around?" Yeah. But that's not fun, is it? That's not. She did something, and that's what all people do. Fucking unimaginative pieces of shit that have never made anything. That, to quote Douglas Adams, will be the first against the wall when the revolution comes. I got no fucking time for it. I'm done.
Fuck yeah.
I'm done hearing about it. Like, it's over. We know it's a fucking scam. They can't explain to us why we'd want it. They just have to keep telling us, oh, well, it's here now. You just got to get used to it. Yeah, cool. Why do I want it? Do you remember when Steve Jobs pulled out an iPhone? He didn't just say, it's here now, get used to it. He explained to you why it's a thing you want, and you went, oh, yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Like, this is not that. Go away. Go and make stupid money somewhere else. So anyway, I'm very angry about it. My wife's an artist, and it's a horrible thing. So I'm just like, fuck off. But yeah, anyway.
Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, we don't have to wrap up right there if anyone has anything more to say.
Do we have any
Nope.
questions?
We do not, mostly because we have answered all of them already, and we've been very much in baby trading zone, and I did not remember to ask anyone for questions, so it's completely my fault.
I think this is a great time.
During this.
Sorry. I was just going to say, I think this is a great time to end with that statement. Fuck generative AI and fuck the people who would say that human lives and creativity do not have inherent value. That I'll say
is inevitable. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. But I'm going to say a quick corpo thing. It's also more profitable. Believing in people is a more profitable thing. If you want to make money, the idea of like, it's not just like not mutually exclusive from profit. These things are more expensive, more costly from a variety of respects, and less effective on a wide scale. The idea that like the money people are telling themselves very consistently in their groups that, well, but this is what you need to stay competitive. This is what you need to make money. Believing in human lives and creativity and refining those processes and figuring out ways to keep people around to make their best work. That is what keeps not just art and humanity, but business alive. And if you don't believe that, you're a dumbass piece of shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, you really fucking are. Like,
Welcome to the Cool Things Club. Goodbye from the Cool
Thanks
Things
for
Club.
coming.
The world where they're like, oh, we're going to replace so many jobs, and this is good. We're going to be all right. You're all billionaires, right? And you think, okay, I'm going to
You
replace all
already
the jobs.
don't work if you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
If you replace all the jobs with the AI, who's paying taxes? Who's buying anything? What is there to buy? Like, it's like, this doesn't make any sense. So just admit it's a fucking scam and go away. Like, I'm bored of it now. Like,
obvious.
People hate
no
to
one's
admit that
making
they're
any
wrong.
money. No one's paying you. No one's going, oh, well, we obviously have to buy the Chat GPT, like, because you got to buy
I love
that.
spending $260 a month to talk to a fake robot.
Talk to your fucking robot fucking girlfriend, you loser. Like, go outside. Like, for fuck's sake. Like, I don't know. I'm a man that sits and plays games all day and doesn't go outside. But, like, even I'm not like, I better. I've watched people, like, you see on Reddit, people getting dumped by these fucking things. I'm like, you're that much of a dork? Like, you fucking got dumped by the computer that was designed to love you? Like, Jesus.
Brutal.
Anyway.
Can we add that as a baby event?
I think we should. Dumped by the computer that was made
was
to
built to
love
love
you.
you.
AI
That's so good, actually.
Dumped. What does that belong? I'm gonna write it into our spreadsheet right now. That's the thing I love about talking about decisions. We don't have what planet?
I'm thinking what planet that
Cantor
would be.
Vantis?
I don't think so. I think that's not juicy enough. Maybe Lux.
Sequel Lux would fit it.
It would.
Yeah.
Lux
it
seems
would.
pretty stratified like that.
Yeah.
It could feel like
got
also
money.
a really good Google
Could be
Gibby
Remos.
thing. Ooh.
Oh, it could be Remos. They're always
Very
bringing in
Remos,
new
actually.
planets and stuff too.
Could
They'd
be.
make girlfriends on computers.
And this is one other thing of just talking about like consequences of choices. We don't have localization on this game, at least not yet. And that means that we can, at a moment's notice, in time for next patch, just type in dumped by AI girlfriend.
Yeah.
Now it's in the game. There we go.
Beautiful stuff. Enjoy that. If you're playing that and it's already there, you know
why
where
it
it came
happened.
from.
You heard the inception moment.
Yeah, someone was just very mad and had to let something out. Thank you for joining us.
You know what else AI can't do? It cannot go take a nap.
Boy, does it turn out I'm angry about AI. Doesn't even turn out. I knew I was, but editing this podcast was definitely like, oh yeah. I got mad about it for a bit. So anyway, thank you for listening to The Strange Scaffold, Cool Things Club. As I said at the top of the show, Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator is out right now. You can check it out. Thank you to all those who have. Thank you for all those left kind words and reviews and all that good stuff. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please consider leaving a review or telling a friend or some such thing. We love doing this show. It's a favorite thing of all of ours to do. So the more people listen to it, the more we can continuously justify to ourselves why we do this. So thank you very much. We will see you at the end of the month with another episode. Take care of yourselves out there. Stay safe. And we will see you all soon.